Hey, Michelle is here. Enjoying my day. It's turning out to look really nice outside. And let me just say some things about what I'm hoping to what my intentions are uh, with social media per se, and 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 make people aware of what's actually going on because it doesn't matter what social media platform you're on, you're going to be manipulated. You're going to be scammed. People are going to take advantage of you. People are going to be begging you for money and this and that. The whole thing is a scam. Okay. And, but the sad part is billions and billions and billions of people are on here, on the social media platforms, like women and children and the elderly and men too. Because, like I said, men get manipulated too, by these sociopath, psychopath, narcissistic females, that are cowards too because they hide behind their beauty. They hide behind the beauty and they know that men are visuals, so they can manipulate men with the visuals. Now, like I said, I don't mind being manipulated with visuals. If you got time to do all that, thank you. Some of it does inspire me though, by the way. So, because this gets me going. I'm just being real honest, um, which can be a good thing or a bad thing. But the thing about social media platform, we got to make it known to people what's happening with the social media platform. All of it is manipulation, okay? But all of us are on it, and we're attempting to create and establish interpersonal relationships online. And I'm just saying it's not going to work. So my goal is to remaster Black culture, which means we get together in our cultures and celebrate our culture, whether you're white, black, blue, or green. We need to reestablish that type of connection. Is my point, where Black culture was innovative, produced excellence. We were peaceful. We were fun. We had our challenges. We had all type of personalities in Black culture. As I said, the alternative lifestyles. We had the prostitutes. We had the drug dealers. We had the predators, and that was actually those were my role models. Okay. There are no role models per se online. Now, before this online stuff, like I said, I used to read books. I used to read the books of the people that are my teachers. I read your books, and you know who you are. I've already called you out. Or did I? Well, but you know who you are. You don't need to be called out. Um, I've called out certain artists who shift the game, and this was before social media, and you still shifting the game. But where are those people that were doubting you? Where are they? Out here scamming people is what they're doing. Okay. In other words, in Black culture, self-promotion was marketing, honey. That's the secret, by the way, that I'm revealing to these motherfuckers online lying about all their marketing techniques and stuff. If you have not walked the streets of Black culture self-promoting yourself, then you're not. Come on, stop the masquerading and perpetrating. That's why so many artists decide to step back, and I don't blame you, and say, what's the purpose of it? Because you can't win when you got all this. Sometimes evil can be overwhelming, and if and so people with the high consciousness, they rather not deal with it, and I don't blame them. But at the same time, we do have obligations and responsibilities as well to call this out for the descendants. Would you want your children dealing with this predator atmosphere? Because I don't think social media is going anywhere anytime soon until we recreate Black culture and where we could physically be together and be interpersonal with each other. Remember I told you how we used to meet at the parks? And that's where motherfuckers were self-promoting themselves, handing you CDs and shit. You remember? Does anybody remember that? So you physically had a CD in your hand or a cassette in your hand where you can listen to it, and that's how the excellence and the creativity of Black culture just, I mean, took it to the sky. Okay, but now social media has too many hands in it, and they're not Black hands or dark colored hands. I can guarantee it. That's controlling this. So yeah, you can run the TikTok, it's the same thing. You can run the Twitter, it's the same thing. You can run the Instagram, it's the same thing. But no Black person or no person of color owns any of these platforms. Okay, so my partner, my son, like-mindedness, he's gonna create his own. And I'm gonna, but at the same time, we're gonna still help while he's creating his own. We're gonna create. I mean, we're gonna still talk to people, and help people as much as we can until he gets that done. And I have all the confidence in him that he can do it. I mean, no doubt about it. Okay, so, and yes, you can trade, but when you have a dollar that's worthless, you got to think about that kind of stuff too. You're being manipulated with the stock market too. They don't want all this stuff to be heard. So that's why my shit gets suppressed. No matter who's marketing me or whether I'm marketing myself, it gets suppressed and only certain things come out. I know that. But like I said, you can only bury treasure for so long. Whether it's coming from my mouth or the other teachers out there, you can only bury it for so long. And people that are hoarding it, the ones that want to hoard the truth and hoard the treasures, the same thing with them as well. They'll be exposed, and they have been. I've exposed some of them, and one particularly, okay, that's wanting to hoard this shit and disseminate it how they see fit. And that's no different than what people do in religion and politics and all this other nefarious activity and behavior. They want to suppress truth. That's what they want to do. So, like I said, there's billions of us on the social media platform. So if we can get everybody off of it, would that resolve the issue? I think it would. But at the same time, you still need to have a interaction or a physical connection with somebody. Okay. So like I said, white people need to resolve their issues in their communities, physically be together and honestly say, look, I want to resolve these issues. And stop all of this carrying on with people running up in schools and in libraries and grocery stores or wherever, harming people that look like them or the exact opposite of them. Okay. And it hurts more so the carriers of the dark complexion. You're being hurt more than any of the other races of people. Because they'll just eventually eliminate yourself. But you will remain for millions and millions of years barely existing and barely being able to wipe your ass. Okay, so that's what we're dealing with. So that's the obligation we have. If we need to take people off the social media platform, we will. And we can. And that's what we need to stress. Okay, but you need to get the information out to them. And I know my shit gets suppressed. That's why we need the rest of you to step it up and publish some shit. Do your blogs. Go to newspapers. Do podcasts. Do whatever you need to do and get the message out. Do concerts. Do this, do that. Do tours. I know it's hard. Okay, but that's how it has to be done to wean these people off of this shit, because children are on it, young people are on the social media platform, and like I said, it could have been a great tool, but it's turning into nefariousness, and they're creating AI out of all of our content, all of our looks, all of our behaviors and our routines. Like every phone is monitoring my behavior and my routine. And I'm sure listening as well. Okay, they want me so much because I used to use Google Voice all the time to text and everything because I was lazy. I didn't feel like texting. And I was in the former field that I had, that would have been impossible to be texting because I was first responder. That would have been extremely dangerous for me. Well, guess what? Google owns all of those voice recordings. Does anyone know that? They own all of it. It belongs to Google. So if Google wants to pull a conversation you've had 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 5 minutes ago, they're gonna pull it because it's, and if you're using Google Voice to talk. Google follows where you're going on the map. I mean, so, but like I said, when I talked to my brother, when me and my brother were talking, what can we do about that, honestly? When we're genuine, upstanding people, what can we do about it? Not a goddamn thing. Because we allowed this to happen. Okay, we can't live without our cell phones. Most of us are always holding it. Most of us, and like I said, can you turn off your cell phones? Like I said, every time I figure out how to, it reactivates itself automatically. And you cannot turn off these damn phones. So now you tell me, and so they're calling in, they're harassing TikTok. Because yes, they want control of TikTok, and eventually they will, because money talks. Or if they start messing and harassing this man's family, just like they would do with anyone. And who's going to choose their career over their family? Maybe the narcissistic, sociopath, serial killers, or cowards would. Okay, but not a genuine, upstanding human being who's just trying, just creating toys. Because social media is a toy. Now it is. It could have been a beneficial tool to use. I mean, if it wasn't for social media, I wouldn't have found the people that I found, and find the books that I've started to read, and blah blah blah. So it has this negative and positive, but you have to neutralize it. Okay, all of you out there, you digital creators, I sense that you're being used and manipulated as well, and I'm going to expose that. Okay. That's why I want you all to follow me and listen to me before they shut me down. Because they've tried already. Or not tried, but attempted. Okay, and I'm still talking. Now, who's listening? I don't know. I know the possibilities of who's listening. Okay, I already saw a change of stuff on YouTube already. When I look for certain content. Okay, it's happening. And it's been happening. So I understand the frustrations, people, especially young people and descendants in the future. I understand it. Again, I get manipulated all the time, but I have to be creative. Like I said, you got to be creative. Okay, and expose it and keep it going, because what I say that comes out of my mouth is genuine truth. And like I said, if I say I love people, I love you, but it doesn't mean that I need to continue to follow you. Okay, I remember I told you about this chick that I had to go to a certain, she had this medical condition, right? I couldn't get none of her friends to want to go and be with her while she goes through this procedure. None of them. And this woman used to throw parties all over the place. Atlanta, DC, everywhere. And everybody was coming to her house, eating her motherfucking food and drinking her motherfucking liquor. But yet when she has a medical condition, serious medical condition, you can't find none of them. And like I said, I barely knew her, and I had to take 2 weeks of my vacation to go and be with her while she had this surgery done. But then, come on now. But she was still just as delusional because she continued to hang out with these people. And that's when I said, okay, I'm done. I'm good. I've done my share. I did my part. I didn't turn my back on her ever. But when it was time to go, it was time to go. I think you do serve your purpose with people. You don't just keep lingering on to them. Okay. Anybody going through something difficult and challenging, I'll be there for a while until I know you're on your feet and you're gone. Just like this other person I was dealing with, having these financial issues and couldn't find a job. I hung around as long as I could and put up with it for as long as I could. Sitting around watching boring Lifetime movies. Okay, that was driving me insane, actually. Because Lifetime movies have a known plot. By the way, does anybody know that? Goddamn, go outside and feel the trees that are still around. Breathe. I wouldn't breathe too much because of the poison in the air. Get some sun rays, not too much. So I know this. I know the frustration, but you have to counter and be creative, and that's what I'm reaching out to these creative people to do, and the people that understand sound. Counter and create. Be creative. Don't fold, because there's too many of us. It's billions, right? It's billions of us on these social media platforms, and we're all targets. Okay, you can be minding your motherfucking business, sitting in your own house, and you're a target. Everybody's always watching you, whether it's surveillance, your cell phones, your laptops, your televisions. People are watching and listening to every goddamn thing we're saying. Okay, satellites are doing it more so than anything. Something went up the other day. I didn't see it announced anywhere. Something went up on the east side, on the east coast. Okay, on the east side, near the Cape Canaveral or whatever. Okay. Like I said, it's billions of us. And if billions of us stop going to Disney, guess what happens? Billions of us stop going to Universal, guess what's going to happen? And that's the power you have, but you don't know it because you keep getting suppressed and shut down and banned and eroded in attempts of erasing you. And we follow along with it because we miss that connection, and we don't understand it's in the physical connection of people. Physical. My parents found each other by physically seeing each other, and they stayed together over 50 years. And I doubt you'll ever see that again in this particular generation, where people stay together 50 years plus. Okay, it was almost 60 years that they were together before they both died. Okay, so that's my duty, and that's the duty of the others, the 144210s. Now, will it be it's successful because of our efforts and our genuine willingness to help people. All right, so that's something to consider. I'm going to send peace and love, and you know what? I'll be back.